Omaha, Nebraska. On board the Can-Am, Spencer Modlin. And last and certainly not least, from Bakersville, North Carolina, on a GBC Racing DeRisi Racing race-driven Can-Am, Eric Holyfield. And that, ladies and gentlemen, your starting lineup for this Amsoil Ironman GNCC. As we've got the stage set and racing action about to get underway, just want to welcome everyone aboard on YouTube, on the RacerTV.com YouTube channel, reminding you we'll be back out here a little after 1, pushing 2 o'clock this afternoon for the start of our final XC1 and XC2 A and B class racing. Some 500 riders on the starting line, over 500 riders on the starting line. And I do have a cell phone and a dollar bill that was dropped on the start line. So if you happen to be looking for that, we've got that for you. But right now, folks, our riders are finding their way down onto the start line, and all of our other classes have found their start position as we are in the waning moments of these final warm-up stages. And of course, Ricky Towery has let these folks know that we are definitely less than 2 minutes now away from getting things underway. The next time we'll see Ricky Towery, he'll step out from around behind that first turn barrier, and that will be to give us the 1 minute signal, which will put us 1 minute away from our green flag flying here in the fields of Indiana on this cold, blustery fall Saturday morning. What a beautiful day. I mean, you look around, this beautiful leaves, the fall colors that we've got around us. It's just unfortunate for us, for some, that the rain is falling. But, man, I tell you, you look at the big picture. We definitely need it. The pond is way low over there. I don't know if you noticed that. So some dry conditions. So the one thing we don't have to worry about today is dust. So don't worry about that. So 1 minute, we're actually less than a minute away from going racing here today as Ricky Towery has begun to orchestrate these starts already, making his step up as he taps on the podium. Our next signal from Ricky Towery will be the blue flag. That will give us an indication that they are less than 30 seconds away from going green. And to shut them down, guys, shut them down as we get set to roll into this Ironman. I can't see. Get ready to roll into this Ironman GNCC with our first row, the 4x4 Pro class, as we turn our attention to Ricky Towery up near turn number 1. He readies these riders and lets them know it's time to roll in 10 seconds for row number 1, the 4x4 Pro, here at the Amsoil Ironman GNCC. Oh, by the way, I might have missed the number 1. I did. The number 1 of Kevin Cunningham is back with us on a Cunningham Racing back machine. And the number 1 is going to grab the whole shot with the 3.7 of Robbie Picarori right beside him. But Kevin Cunningham, I forgot. I'm sorry, Kevin. Last year's the 2018 champion, back for one final round, taking the whole shot. WXC coming up next as we turn our attention to Ricky Towery. You're going to have to get out of my way with these umbrellas. Mike, out of the way, guys. I can't see Ricky Towery. Get these guys out of the way. Get these guys all out of the way. And around the first turn, second turn, now it's Tracy Pickens grabbing the early lead in this one. And that looks like, I'm not real sure that was Kalen or not, but Super Senior. Guys, you're going to have to move from away from where you're at. Alan is telling you guys to move. Get out of the way, please. Out of the way. Out of the way. You with the black and gray umbrella, you are in the way. Get out of the way. Out of the way. Blue and white umbrella. Out of the way. Out of the way. Out of the way. Super Senior 45 plus class, and I believe that was the I don't know, 7-12 maybe of Doug Henke. Let's try to catch up with the action now as Schoolboy Senior 14-17 getting set to roll next. 10 seconds. Luke Wilson, Kinzer Bales, Blaze Valensky, Parker Henderson, Grant Olson, Keaton Henderson, Damian Hawkins, John Williams, Ashton Poling, Lane McCormick, Devin Mercer, Lane Yoder, Sam Coons, Jackson Brewer, Clayton Grunkmeyer, Evan Gasper, Ryan Mason, Elijah McLean, Brock White, Caleb Head, and Paxton Dickerson, and James Galata. I can't see. 4x4 A class. Coming up next, Sean Rogers, Jacob Carpenter, Joseph Scheistel, Levi Sage, Jeremy Buchanan, Carter Donahue, Luke Bender, Dan Llewellyn, Jeff Purcell, Chris Berry, Trevor Payne, Jordan Ellis, Ben Wilson, Ben Buskirk, Zachary Jones, and Nathan Smith. And we'll see if we can't get a hole shot here. .734. Nathan Smith, or 7:14. Ben Buskirk, I can't see. Masters 50-plus class. Mike Tarango, Bill Berger, welcome back. Harry Stonebreaker, Chad Lane, Richard Taylor, David Kite, Rick Madison, and Mike Hartzell. Guys, out of the way. Come on, man. Thank you. 10 seconds. The first turn, we go with the Masters 50-plus class now. See if we can get a 5:44. Richard Taylor out of Sonoya, Georgia. As we go to the 4x4 Senior 40-plus class, Michael Wharf, Kevin Carlson, Shane Watterson, Shane McCourt, Jeremy Rollins, also Keith Forrest. 10 seconds. John Glada Sr., Randy Stuber Jr., and Randy Stuber Sr. 40 and 59 years, sorry about that, 40 and 59 years old. Father and son racing in this 4x4 Senior 40-plus class. That's pretty cool. 364. That's Michael Warner from Roachdale, Indiana, grabbing the early lead as we get to the 4x4B. Benjamin Sleichlich, Kagan Martin, Rick Strang, Trevor Sharp, Daniel Prender, Wesley Fruits, Daniel Moore. Also looking at Christopher Williams, Mike Seegers, Brian Russell, Chris Prego, Josh Moore. 10 seconds. Bryce Strider, Justin Martin, and Tanner Fowler. Four by 4B class off and rolling now as we hit that first turn. .449. That is Daniel Prendle from Gilman City, Missouri, on a Big Daddy Racing. And also looks like Shockworks Motorsports back Can-Am. Sportsman A class, 36 riders in this one. Gary Buffkin, Dougie Hill, Ryan Thompson, Jared Little, Donna Boylan, Gerald Lowry, Chad Evenshine, Alex Ray, Dason Como, Andrew Bangoski, Cole Williamson. Less than 10 seconds to go for Blake Stiles, Mark Notman, Aaron Motter, Silas Blow, Ty Barker, Landon Williams, Jesse Parker, Tyler Miller, Chris Ballou, Peyton Dalton, Nathan Emick, Cole Setzer, Jackson Levacy, Gary Eads, Brad Macri, Matthew Briggs, Michael Aldridge, Taylor Herring, Ryland Johnson, Glenn Ledford, also Joe O'Neill, Ross Heyman, Blaze Cook, Kellen Asplaw, and Andrew Herring. Sorry, didn't catch the whole shot, but we go to the Sportsman B class next. Jacob Ritter coming up next with Clark Anderson, Ben Madura, Nathan Hayes, Jacob Nolan, Kelton Brown, Trey Brown, Dwayne Fuller, Charlie Andrews, Ethan Fike, Bryce Jeffers, Brian Bandy, Nick Maynard, Stephen Martin, Reese Kelsey, Colton Kendall, Dylan Judy. Also Zane Wathen, Trevor Mayberry, Jacob Fleming, Grant Landrum, Andy Rippey, Trey Nussum, Trevor Mandura, Tyler Bowman, and Riley Thompson. Sportsman B off and rolling. Mountain Kelton Brown. 481 out of Waytown, Indiana, the Brown Racing Machine. Silver Masters. Wait a minute, I think, make sure my papers aren't stuck together. Nope, I think this will be Silver Masters 55-plus class. Less than 10 to go for Kenny Rich Sr., John Ellison, Michael Ferguson, Gregory Head, Jeff Modlin, Scott Meckley Sr., and Kevin Lane. That looks like Kenny Rich on the 225, grabbing a hole shot, gripping and ripping and grabbing gears. Sport 15-plus class coming up next. Dylan Binion, Jaden Launderville, Brian Smithson, Blake Norman, Jeremy Reeves, Adam Johnson, Lance Summers, Wesley Smith, Bruce Marshall, Justin Cogswell, and Anthony Newman in 10 seconds. Looks like he's riding a rocket out here today. That's a rocket ship. That's a 740. Bruce Marshall from Greenwood, Indiana, grabbing the early lead in this one. 16 to 18 novice. Over 50 riders. Colby Baker. Colby Burris, Colby Stewary, Caden Fox, Chris Short, Luke Stewary, still Hensley, and the man Johnson. 10 seconds. Trace Thomas, Gavin Roeder, Bryce Husband, Adam Weckel, Kyle Cruz, Seth Gillick, Michael Schneider, Dylan Hawes, Alex Nelson, AJ Cox, Cole Davis, Gunnar Opal, Logan Dock, Austin Swanson, Robert Ellis, and Blaine Johnson, Tyson Road, Jordan Guido, Colton Davis, Jack Acard, Philip Plain, Derek Granberg, Zach Kearns, Daniel Tipton, Nick Berry, Josh Rhodes, Hank Garrison, Blake Cumming. And up next, 16 to 18 novice class. Well, that's who that is right there. Austin McCoy looking at Carter Waits, Bryson Harper, Dalton Kiddick, Braden Blevins, Dakota Rippey, Ethan Conkright, and Michael Worth. Now we're coming up on the senior 40-plus class, if I'm not mistaken. 27 riders in this one. Thea Refuse, Anthony Stockdale, Russell Fry, Dave Osborne, Jason Tagan, Joseph Kupler, Doug Allball, Dan Breslow, Shane Downing, Jim Thomas, Rick Gilsdorf, Jamie Weckel, Richie McCauley, Bobby McCauley. 10 seconds. Josh Hubble, Jared Adams, Marvin Schofield, Justin Moore, Jeremy Fellows, Jesse Harper, Johnny Cantrell, Scott Norton, Chad Hartman, Rex Rosenberger, Tim Davis, Shane Worth, and Mike Matusik. I believe our senior 40-plus class ripping gears. 7:16. That is Scott Norton out of Laurel, Maryland, grabbing the early lead as we go to the 24-plus novice. Wesley Barr, Drew Blackley, Cameron Coppinger, Tyler Hughes, Sean Newhouse, Cameron Rolfe, Travis Wesley, Adam Schrank, Brent Cole, Jesse Ward, Matt Schroeder. Also John Comer, Travis Ison, Chase Moran, James Woolery, Corey Pancake, Dominic London, Logan Carpenter, Cody Ney. Also Jace Horner, Austin Martin, Brandon Lane, John Harville. Looking at Cody Smith, Jacob Bill, Aaron Marsock, Thaddeus Mullendor, Braxton Griffith, Tyler Marquis, Damian Madison. Also Cody Gravens, Mike Jenkins, Patrick Volan, Austin Ricoeur, and Jason Day. Seconds. And the 24-plus novice class is off and rolling. Had to wait for one of the other riders to get off this big wide start from one of the previous classes. Couldn't get the machine fired up. It took a while to push him off with the mud stacking up and everything, but it is the 24-plus novice class off and rolling now. As we go to the women's ATV class, we got Carly Martin, Amy Dunlap, Ashley Belowski, Sydney Sam, Stephanie Parks, Kia Boyle, Jessica Elioff, Andrea Rogers, Courtney France, Haley France, Nicole Lane, Katie Friedman, Bailey Hawes, Nicole Durham, Marty Lance, Samantha White, Lauren Patterson, Kiara Dixon, Julia O'Neill, Aaron Bear, Lexus Brown, Claire Wilkham, Paige Behrman, and Brianna Gentry. 10 seconds. And folks, don't forget this is a co-sanctioned event, I believe, with the IXCR this weekend. So we got a lot of championship points for national and regional championships on the line this weekend as we round that first turn. That might have been Nicole Durham out of McMurray, Pennsylvania on the Yamaha. Looked like it could have been the 579 or maybe the 429 of Sydney Sams, whichever. Good racing starting already. 4x4 light. 10 seconds. Josh Watterson and Chris Kroll. And they're off. Might have had a couple of non-4x4 light riders taking off there. Look like a couple of sport quads in amongst that. There's 482 Chris Call taking the early lead. These poor kids are saying, what are we racing with 4x4s with? 10 seconds. Schoolboy Jr., William Whitty, Cadence Dyden, Drew Willingham, Will Garceau, Braxton Benner, Dominic Stevens, Brandon Voris, Shane Kroll, Ty McGahee, Jay Cooper, Lucas Zambati, Kane Skinner, Dayton Hickey, Mason Stopcheck, Blake Martin, Gavin White, Mason Starr, Keegan Taylor, Taylor Brown, Carson Rutherford, Dayton Hastings, Chase Adams, Ashton Wampler, A.J. Hall, out. As we go to the Golden Masters 60-plus class coming up next, Jimmy Craven, Tom Vasco, the 82-year-old Jake Stratton out of Des Moines, Iowa, and the 897 of Pat Poe. 10 seconds. All right, here we go, Gold Masters. And it is Jake Stratton, the 82-year-old man. He has literally got 21 years at least on every one in his class. Everybody in the class but Jake is 60 or 61 years old. He's 82. Yeah, 30 plus coming up next. Kevin Simmons, also Jonathan Ward, Scott Irving, Ben Dunlap, Von Delgado. Less than 10 to go for Chad Burgess, Brendan Hosenfield, Chad Hosenfield, Frederick Harder, Drew Burgess, Travis Burgess, Brandon Carter, Matt Sodaro, Chad Place, Zach Spillman, Cash Moore, Daniel Anderson, Nathan McVeigh, Taylor Ellis, Nick Kasmarski, Dusty Gatos, Michael Bodiziak, Ian Medley, Eric Good, Chris Ratliff, and Mikhail Glidden. 35-plus novice class. David Childers, Nick Roberts, Sean Stratton, Ivo Pahalik, also Justin McMasters, Stephen Combs, Robbie Pope, Matt Graham, Wayne Farnsworth, Adam Nice, Tim White, Roy McCumbers, Cliff Blankenschlip. Waiting on that green flag. That 35-plus C class off and rolling. The 19-plus novice class coming up next with 33 riders. See if we can at least snag one of these guys for you. Nope, already. Actually, his got numbers. Kawasaki, Clayton Evers, Zach Ford, Corbin Menon, Grant Rutan, Dustin Kuhl, Dakota Purdue, Timmy Mack. Also looking at Scott Hensley, Cameron Messer, Zachary DeNoble, Matthew Musall, Mick Rice, Casey Posey, Zach Copeland, Blake Gibson, Aaron Johnson, Ori Jenny, Tyler Basham, Austin Cox, Douglas Crippen, Matt Bittinger, Braxton Barnett, Jared Knox, Jacob Wampler, Ty Bland, and Jared Priest. 4x4C coming up next. We got Keith Verdura, Bryce Cooper, also Zachary Pranger, Ryan Fair, Austin Norris coming up next with Erica Fisher, Devin Bowling, Justin Malott, Josh Branham, Rebecca Day, Zachary Gronin, Daniel Boatz. Good to see a couple of ladies in this 4x4 C class here today. Welcoming Erica Fisher and also Rebecca Day. We've got women's classes, but they're going 4x4 against the guys in 10 seconds. And they're all. I hope the girls get the whole shot in the early lead, to be honest with you. Like to see them win. The ladies. Who's up front, though? Let's see who's got the early lead. 3:12. 4:12. Austin Norris out of Trenton, Missouri on a Shockworks Motorsports machine. That's unofficial. Trail Rider Juniors coming up next. Mark Hebner, David DiPasquale, David Salazar, Emmanuel Gruzgo, Aaron Montgomery. 10 seconds. Skylar Christie, Dyden Rushing, Michael McGinnis, Briar McCullough, Marcus Paluzzo, Zach Zajac, Dawson Pfaff, Robert Yeary, Brody Lee, Evan Hartzell, Michael Beeling, Craig Tooney, Logan Talbot, Connor Harper, Brody Stedman, Zachary Purdue, Zach Black, Edwin Magallanes, also Justin Baker, Trenton Benskin, Gunnar Nelson, Keaton Stedman, Hunter Swin, and Timothy Brown. Trail Riders, senior riders, 25 years of age and older. Kevin Harris, Jamie Williams, Mark Strahan, Andrew Horwath, Michael Peck, Anthony Dean, Todd McGuire, Daniel Christie, Michael Zachel, Ben Feist, Adam Christie, Braden Green, Jake Bradbury, Jeremy Beamit, Carl Colabro, Rodney Green, Thomas Tenchner, Steve Gadberry, also Joanna Strawhand. 10 seconds. James Sandel, Derek Colombanto, Bradley Clifton, Russell Shoemaker, Josh Lyons, Sheldon Francis, Michael Turney, Kevin Music, Jeremy Combs, Tom Bowling, Bradley Preston, Joe Gill, Darren Altop, Jeremy Scales, and Tyler Wortley. Trail Riders seniors off and rolling right there, my friends. Colin Batlow, by the way, Derek Colin Batlow, the 677. I totally butchered his name a few moments ago. But wow, the rains are falling, and they just started recently. It's a light drizzle here in the soils of Indiana for this final round of 2019. The 10:30 starts are off and rolling here on this Saturday morning. And Ricky Towery just want to let folks know, I believe we still got one on the start down there, guys, that are trying to get going. Okay, I think they've given up. They're giving the, yeah, there's. So anyway, that's going to wrap things up for us on RacerTV.com and on our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Be sure and tune back in coming up here in just a little bit. And, of course, with that, we're going to stick around here. Actually, going to throw things over to Mikey Waynes here locally. And he's going to take us through this morning race extravaganza. The rain's falling. And, of course, the final round of 2019 well underway.